This video is about calculating conditional probability. Conditional probability is the probability that some event B occurs given that some other event A has already happened. The notation for this can be seen here. The P represents probability of B given that A has already taken place. You will see conditional probability problems both written out in words and using this notation. So again, please be aware of what this vertical bar means. This vertical bar always indicates conditional probability, and I like to think of this as the shorthand for the words given that. So the probability that B happens given that A has already taken place. All right, so let's look at an example of how this will work. So I am going to draw a card at random from a deck. Now, if you are not familiar with a deck of cards, here is not only a deck, but it's also got all of the different suits written out. The suits, again, clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades. It lets you know what these types of cards are called. And then down here at the end, the jack, the queen, and the king, these are face cards. Now, if you are a card player, I know there are some games where aces are considered face cards in this course, and for the probability unit, we are going to consider an ace to be the number 1, okay, exactly as it's listed here. The only things that are face cards are these 12 cards down here, okay? So I'm going to draw a card from the deck. What is the probability the card is a queen given that it is a face card? So what this means, as soon as we say given that it is a face card, I want you to kind of think of it as I've drawn a card and I've looked at it and then I've said, oh, I'm going to give you a hint. It's a face card. So immediately, instead of being one of these 52 cards, you know that the card in my hand is one of these 12. And what that does is it takes our denominator and it says now instead out of 52 cards, we're looking at 12 cards. Okay, among those 12 cards, how many of these 12 cards are queens? Well, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the probability that I have a queen, given that I've drawn a face card, is 4 over 12. If you choose to reduce that fraction, that's fine. You would get 1 over 3. But it is not necessary unless, again, it says to reduce in the problem that you are working on. Okay, so now a similar question, but using our notation here for given that. So what is the probability my card is red, given that my card is a diamond? So I am telling you my card is a diamond. It is one of these in this row right here. Okay, I look at it and I say it's a diamond. What is the probability my card is red? Well, if it's a diamond, it is red. It's guaranteed. And so my probability would be 1. If you want to look at it as a fraction, you could say something like out of the 13 diamonds, 13 of them are red. But again, when it's a guarantee, it's 1. All right, the next example, we're going to look at rolling a pair of dice. And again, you can see the sample space on what happens whenever you roll a pair of dice pictured here. So, part A, what is the probability you roll doubles given the sum is less than 6? So whenever I add up the sum of my dice, I am getting a sum less than 6. We know that. So if you look at all of the sums here, let's see, we would have this group right here, all less than a sum of 6. So we want them to add up to 5 or fewer. So again, I have told you, given that the sum is 6 or less than 6. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 possibilities. There's my denominator. And out of that group that has been encircled there, the ones that have doubles are just this one and this one. So my probability would be 2 out of 10. Again, if you want to reduce to 1 over 5, you're welcome to do so. Okay. I'm going to erase my highlighting here so that we can work on the next problem. Okay, so the second problem looks similar, but it is actually stated in the opposite way. So what is the probability the sum is less than 6, given that I rolled doubles? So this time we know we rolled doubles. Here are my sets of doubles right there. There are 6 sets of doubles to be precise, so out of 6. Now, out of those that are highlighted, how many of them have a sum less than 6? Well, there's a sum of 2, a sum of 4, and then I have sums of 6 and greater, and so 2 out of 6, or 1/3, is the probability I would get a sum less than 6, given that I rolled doubles. Okay, in this next example, I have put our data into table format. So first, second, and third graders chose their favorite fruit from among the choices: apples, bananas, and peaches. And you can see the results here in the table. So we're going to pick one student at random. We want to calculate the probability the student likes bananas best, given they are in second grade. So again, if you think about what it is we know in this problem, what do we know about this student? We are given that this student is in second grade. So what we know is that this student falls into this column right here labeled second graders. They are one of 39 students in second grade. Now, only out of these students in second grade, how many of them liked bananas best? Well, that is 10 of them. So the probability a student likes bananas best, given they're in second grade, is 10 out of 39. For the second question, it says, what is the probability the students in first grade, given they like apples best? So this time, apples is what they like best. Okay, we know we have somebody whose favorite fruit is apples. So there are 57 students whose favorite fruit is apples. Out of these 57 students, the probability or the number of students in first grade is 20. So 20 out of these 57 students would be in first grade. And again, those are just among those who like apples best. All right, so this next example, same chart, just on a different page. So again, we're using our notation here. We are being asked the probability the student likes peaches best, given they are in second grade. So what do we know about this student? Well, we are told this student is in second grade. So again, we're back in our column of second graders. So we know there's 39 second graders. Among those second graders, how many of them like peaches best? That's the 14. So 14 out of 39. Number 4 is asking a similar question, but in the opposite direction. So note this is saying the probability they are in second grade, given they liked peaches best. So now what do we know about the student? We know they like peaches. Now we're looking at this row for the peach-loving students. So there are 32 students who like peaches best. Out of those 32 students that like peaches best, we are interested in how many are in second grade. That is 14 over 32. And again, if you choose to reduce, that's fine, 7 over 16. So one last example. 100 tickets are sold for a raffle. 30 of the tickets are red and they're numbered 1 through 30. And 70 tickets are blue, numbered 1 through 70. One ticket is drawn at random. So first question, what is the probability the ticket that's drawn has a number 25 on it? Well, this is not a given, that problem. Okay, so we're going to throw in a little bit of review here. But remember, on our tickets, we have a bunch of red tickets, and we also have a bunch of blue tickets. In particular, we have 70 blue tickets, and we have 30 red tickets. There is one ticket in this group that's got a 25 on it. One red ticket, that's a 25. And there's one blue ticket in there that's got a 25 on it. And so what is the probability we would get a ticket with a 25 on it? Well, out of those 100 tickets, 2 of them have a 25 on them, or 1 out of 50. Looking at this next question, this is the probability my ticket has a 25 on it, given that my ticket is red. So what we know at this point is my ticket is red. We can essentially at this point ignore the blue tickets. Just kind of cross them off. They don't matter right now. We know the ticket is red. Okay, the announcer said, we've drawn a winning ticket. It's a red ticket. The blue ticket people, sorry, you're out of luck. Okay, so we know it's a red ticket, which means there are 30 possible red tickets. And out of those tickets that are red, how many of them have the number 25 on them? Well, just one. And for the third example, the probability my ticket is blue, given that it has a 25 on it. So in this scenario, what we're looking at is a ticket has been drawn and it has a 25 on it. It's got to be one of those 2 tickets right there. Out of those 2 tickets, how many are blue? Well, 1. And so if they say the winning number is 25 and you have a 25 on your ticket, you're super excited because you're still in the game, and you have a 50% chance that the next time they call out the color, it's a red ticket with 25 or it's a blue ticket with 25, you'll be the winner.